A very warm welcome to you. This, of course, is K24 This Morning. Karibu sana. Now you know how the roads are looking, so let's swiftly move on to the big stories of the day as far as your newspaper review is concerned. Look at the front pages of each of the dailies and then dig a bit deeper as to what they're actually talking about. People Daily's front page, Kiunjuri faces new probe over 1.8 billion shilling payout. Anti-corruption agency claims Agriculture Minister and PS released cash to Mombasa-based firm without approval from the Strategic Food Reserve Fund. That's the front page of your People Daily this morning. Front page of the Daily Nation, wanted, spy queen on the run, not your ordinary woman. Jane Wawera Mugo cuts the image of a sophisticated private investigator and entrepreneur with interests in security consultancy. Until recently, you could hire her services to spy, track and catch a cheating partner. But in a typical case of the hunter becoming the hunted, police are now seeking her over a series of crimes, including armed robbery and impersonation. That's the lead story on your copy of the Daily Nation. Front page of the Standard, gone in just 10 minutes. How gunmen stole 42 million shillings. Talking about the chronology of events that led up to what happened right there. Days after men posing as police stole 72 million shillings from a Standard Chartered ATM in the city, 2 gunmen walked away with millions at a Moyale airstrip. That's the front page of the Standard right there. Front page of the Star, head teachers to lose control of school cash. Proposal to give Education CS power to appoint outside managers of school finances. CS George Magoha makes radical proposals to the Basic Education Act, and that's a lead story in your copy of the Star. Front page of the Business Daily revealed Kenya's most expensive mobile loans. We've been known to be a mobile loan-taking nation. Well, the details of which of those are going to make you pay an arm and a leg and which ones won't are what makes the front page of the Business Daily. However, we look a bit deeper into the stories of the day. We have Marcus and Duta. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Everything now is good right here.
Yeah,
we can
fine.
Get to the dailies.
He did his work, yes. And then we can continue.
Fantastic.
I am available for more. It is fine. Yes.
Let's look at the front page of the PD. We'll start off with you, Duta, because something very interesting you said that the last time you were doing the newspaper review, the front page of the PD was talking about a maize scandal.
Yes.
You come back, it's a new show, it's a new set.
Same maize scandal, just a different level. Because now it's 1.8 billion shillings. And the way the money has moved from one corner to the other and back to wherever, I'm just wondering what's happening? What's happening with the ministry? What's happening with the Strategic Food Reserve Fund? We've had so much going on right here. Even the time there was a standoff between CS Kiunjuri and the chairperson of the Strategic Food Reserve concerning even just finding time to have a meeting with him. Yes.
And so many people are asking, this is not the first time we've had CS Kiunjuri in the crosshairs of funds not being used properly. The president has given him a tongue lashing in public several times. When does it get to a point where Marcus, as CS of Agriculture, you just step down? You're like, okay, fine, let me step aside first.
But why should I step aside? You're paying for my house. My very, very big house. Maybe many times over based on this. But either way, I mean, this is, you know, that level of power you get to where you feel untouchable, where you actually feel, yes, I've been given a tongue lashing, but what will happen? So can I keep doing it? Yeah. So will I keep paying for my house? Definitely yes. Why should I resign?
Right.
There are clearly no consequences at all. Well, lately, I have to say, though, there's been a lot of progress with the DCI's investigations, all these arrests and prosecutions happening. I am very hopeful for one sometime soon, is all I'm going to say.
Right.
Yeah. Not necessarily related to this, but
this one that you're keenly following.
Yeah. Maybe this, maybe another one, allegedly. I'm saying all this so that my lawyer can be ready.
And as we look at this, the most unfortunate thing is that what we're talking about and the amount of monies that we're talking about in Duta are related to basic needs. We're talking about food that we are playing with. 1.8 billion shillings just going down the drain, and Kenyans are starving. We know right now how many counties are we talking about that need food, relief food, yet right now we don't even know how the 1.8 billion shillings is being spent. Yeah,
one, we don't know that. Secondly, this maize thing has been there since time immemorial. Like we've been talking about maize. Maize for most people is like the basic, most affordable food they can ever get. And when you're messing up with that kind of the most basic needs, there's something that is wrong with you.
Right.
Because one, the strategic fund has said, wait, we did not say anything. We did not say that we need this money for anything at all. why has it then moved from this company, from the ministry's account to the company, and then from the company to another company, minus 2 million shillings, 2 billion shillings. So you can imagine the kinds of things that are moving one way or the other.
Right.
So you're trying just to find out what exactly is going on in that ministry. What are these games they are playing with the most basic human need?
Politics of food and the goodwill just to make sure everyone has sufficient in terms of food is a story that you can get from page of your People Daily. We'll move to, entertainment vibes and, just, lighten up the mood right there. Page 24 and 25 of the PD. Your spice flavor of your day. Creatives power shift, out the old, in with the new. A shift of guard transpires in Kenya's creative industry as a new cast of younger movers and shakers quench a generational thirst of inevitable industry change. We've seen this happening, of course, and you can see the space having new players. And if you're not too keen and you put on your TV, switch on your TV, you'll be like, which artist is this? Which producer is this? Has it come the time where the people who we thought were the old guards, as the story is going, it's time for them now to take a back seat and mentor and let these young players now, come to the fore? Marcus?
Well, it's a story of adaptation, really. A lot of these guys are people that have grown up in the new era where, let's call them digital natives. So they've mastered the art of making sure that their work is seen and therefore accrued that influence, that level of power that they currently have. And they're continuing to do so. I've witnessed someone like Anyiko and raw filmmaker in their work, at their craft. These are human beings who are relentless, and they're relentless not just in their own work and in their knowledge of what they're doing, but in how to use the digital space as well, which has then moved into the wider media space. A lot of the I know if we use old guard, people will get offended. But I don't know which other word to use. However, a lot of the old guard hasn't adapted as quickly yet. And therefore, anyone that doesn't adapt will perish.
Yeah,
Yes,
right. And as you can see right now, when you talk about adaptation, these new artists put a song online on YouTube. They don't even need mainstream media. It hits millions in a week, So is this the new front that we're looking at in terms of not only the new artists and new crop coming up, but also the spaces in which they're putting their content for people to consume?
Yes, that's one. And secondly, some of these names are very, very fresh. So that means people are really interested in what they're doing, and people are really interested in getting into ventures that was once upon a time meant for a specific clout of people, a specific group. But now it's different people, and it's not just in music, because it's across the artistic ventures. People talking about Caliban Creatives, and you're wondering, what does such a company do? And when you come and find out some of the people that have been connected with, it's like you see something, but you don't know the work that goes behind it. But when you eventually do that, you realize there's really important things going on. And kids are making money, they are making ventures, they are going beyond what we consider the usual everyday artistic venture.
Right. Okay, and that's the story that you can get on the front page of, in your spice pull-out of your PD. Quickly, we'll move on to the next paper, the Daily Nation's front page. Wanted, spy queen on the run. As they're saying here, the hunter becoming the hunted. This story has taken a turn because as of yesterday evening, she was saying that she's been investigating senior security officials within government. And because of what she was about to find or what she has found that she'll expose, hence why the situation that we have right now. Is that a convenient excuse, Marcus, or is there more than meets the eye? Because they're talking about crimes that they say that she had kidnapped somebody, kept them in a house until he paid 400,000 Kenya shillings. With such claims, the question is, did you actually have a man in your house, or is there something else that happened that we don't know as far as Jane Owera Mugo is concerned? And
just on that note as well, if you go down that story as well, there's something about her having threatened someone with a gun at certain points. It appears to be, again, the idea that power is perpetual and that will never be touched. This is one of those that I feel this is personal opinion, that this is someone that has been protected thus far, but because, as you implied, someone somewhere was just about to be touched, regardless of the previous crimes that have crimes or none committed. I don't know. It's alleged at this point. Regardless of what has happened in the past, this seems to be one of those spaces where someone was about to be touched.
Right.
I mean, just based on the narrative of the story, and therefore needed to be seized and stopped with immediate effect. It still needs to be investigated, though.
As we look at what we're talking about here, the fact that you can go around brandishing guns and threatening people, whether they owe you money or not, whether you're investigating a senior security official or not, that in itself has very many questions.
And then listen to her services: spy, track, and catch a cheating partner. So are we trying to say some of these things are now messing up with important people's bedrooms? We do not know.
Right.
Because since a while back, there has been a lot of stories about her and the kinds of alleged misdeeds she's conducted, and the fact that there were no convictions about what she did and all that. And now that there is almost a conviction now that she's now being arrested and all that, we're trying to see what else is happening. Why did she get so much power? Because the story is she started as an informer for the police. So how did she end up getting to this point? And what are the gaps that were in place for her to actually to be doing all these things, and now she's wanted for robbery with violence, impersonation, and threatening to kill. But also the question mark has put that it could be somebody somewhere is now scared that his or her issues are almost being aired, then
hence the reaction that we're seeing from the police.
But also it could be there's more than that meets the eye.
And of course, as she has been arrested on this, we'll wait and see if indeed whatever she's talking about will be brought to the fore, or it will be settled, behind closed doors. That makes for the front page of the Daily Nation. We move on now to the Standard. Front page of the Standard, gone in just 10 minutes. How gunmen stole 42 million shillings. When you look at how people react to these stories on social media, it really tells of what's going on. It's really telling of the society we live in, because the 72 million shilling heist happened. People were all in applause. Yay! I wish I was part of those guys until the suspects were caught.
Someone left their phone on. I mean, basics, guys. Basics.
But now we have another, type of heist in Moyale, and you're looking at the fact that is it that our security apparatus is getting a bit sloppy, or our thieves getting a bit smarter in how they operate these particular operations?
I think guys have read the system, and over years of doing the same thing time and time again, you learn how to take advantage of the system. And then when you, this is me, ordinary person, I am guarding all these millions and billions of shillings every single day as they keep moving along. I keep reading headlines, going back to what you had mentioned earlier on, where people are making use of billions to their own personal benefit. And here I am, I see this opening, I see this gap. Of course, I will find a way to take advantage of it. And if I can, I will seize that moment. But can I just also add, I love how, if you just look at our headlines, Spy Queen on the run. How many million? Can we just invite Hollywood to just come and make? No, I lied. No. We have enough talented. We've just talked about raw filmmaker. Can we give him money to make these things? Because clearly we have content that's writing itself here.
Because some of these things, as Marcus is saying, just straight out of a movie. You look at it and you're like, okay, fine. How did they think of doing this? Who was the mastermind behind this?
It is 2 gunmen, 42M, 10 minutes.
Clean. I hope they leave their phones off. This one.
Or on. Guys. So you see. But then again,
these are people who know how the system works.
And also, I think they got help from, this should be an inside job. Because you wouldn't know exactly how much money left. And then the bank is really not even helping, because it said, it described the money as a lot of money. What is a lot of money? A lot of money to Jeff is different from a lot of money to Nduta. So you need also to be very accountable and transparent, so that we know what kind of security lapse is there, what kind of measures should be put in place for it to be fixed, so that we don't, because this one is especially, it will touch a lot of personal people, like individuals and businesses. So you're losing, out of the 42 million, how much money did any business lose? Why Moyale specifically? Because this one, if it were here, that means there's a security lapse. even in the airport itself.
Right.
If this amount of money can just disappear like that, what about individuals?
Right.
What about other things that we should be aware of? Yeah.
And he makes, for the front page, of course, in the Standard right there, as Mark said, gone in just 10 minutes, a movie title in the making right there, the story that you can get in your Standard. In the Pulse magazine of your Standard, Glim, Glam and Gloom. Beauty queens and commercial models find the going hard in the cutthroat world of glitz, with everyone trying to cut into their space. Pulse explores this topsy-turvy world. And what they're talking about is the fact that we might see it all glamorous from where we sit, but once you get into the nitty-gritties and how you get the job, how you make sure you're still marketable, it is not a glamorous affair at all by any standard.
It's not.
But it also speaks to the fact that don't we have the proper structures and management to, you know, to take care of the talent, and the talent just takes care of being talent.
Do you know what this reminds me? A few months ago, or late last year, there was a whole Twitter trend about pay models, KE. And every model was coming up to say how they've been exploited, how they don't have, they have to get other methods of getting money for them to make their modeling career work. And then I come and see this story about Miss Earth Kenya saying that she has to do every other thing to actually even get money to go represent the country in the Philippines. And then now we didn't have the 2018 Miss Earth Kenya. Now she's being accused that she's forgotten her role of giving over to the next beauty queen. Yes, so you're wondering what exactly is happening. But so it's not surprising because a lot of models, and it's not just the beauty industry, it's also plus the artist industry, because there's gotten to a point artists, beauty queens are treated like mtuamkono.
Right.
You don't get a proper contract. The person you sign the contract with is not the person who's running the management, so you're actually not sure where you stand.
Right.
And then you're required to go over and beyond. When your contract says one of the things you have to do is probably represent a social cause, probably just handle what you'll wear for the event, make sure that you market yourself as the representative of the country, and then shock on you, because you now have to figure out, where am I getting money for my food?
Right.
Where am I getting money for my cab fare? How am I arriving to the next event and things like that? So I don't know. Structures problems.
The year is 2019, but we still have contracts that aren't structured properly, and we still have talent paid by platform and exposure.
And exposure,
They give you exposure, a lot of it.
Yes. It's an unfortunate thing that as a society, and it's evident in the structures as well, that we don't value, let me loosely put it as, we don't value time. We don't put a value on people placing an effort that doesn't produce an actual product. Like, we want things that are here that I can touch.
Tangible, yes.
However, the fact is, someone like this has put in time, has put in effort. As you mentioned, someone in the arts has put in time, has put in effort. And the fact that we are not putting value on that, that we are not appreciating this time and effort that they're placing into that, that allows these loopholes. And then it becomes a space where, if we come back specifically to this story, even on that very trending topic, there are a couple of people who talked about how they are exploited as well, in terms of being asked for sexual favors and such, just to make sure that they have pretty much a day-to-day living, just to have food on their table. Why must we get to this point where we talk about wanting to create employment? There are people who are actively going out to create something for themselves. But as you say, we're just not paying. We're just saying, here, come and have your face seen. Exposure.
You'll be on the front.
Yes.
Marcus, because you're in this particular space as well, as a photographer and all of this. And of course, I'll have a big event and tell Marcus, you know what? The guys are going to be here. It's going to be a really good platform for you. So I shall pay you with platform. Give me your photos. How do you counter that as a creative, as an artist?
I've gotten to the point, and it's not that I am that comfortable financially. I am not. But I've gotten to the point where I have put a value on myself and on my time.
Right.
So when someone starts with that narrative, immediately it's a space where I go into and I just say, listen, okay, I hear you. However, this is what pays my bills. This is what earns a living. The fact that you have just opened with platform exposure, I will share your photos in where, is a problem. It's a fundamental problem. However, if you open, no, let me not, no. I will not share that secret. However, truth is, either way, much as in any space you have the budget for the space of the event, much as you have the budget for your rent, your office rent, your people that you're paying, any service is worthy of that payment, regardless. So it's a mind shift that we need to have as businesses, as people who are hiring such to just pay.
Okay.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to pay rent and other things in exposures and platforms.
I would love to.
So, you'd love to.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard right now. So until platforms become currency and legal tender, let's just stick to paying them some money. Because of time, parting shots, and Nduta, as we go into the weekend, what your parting shot?
Football.
Right.
Yes, there's quite a number of good games to watch beyond that. Right. And then just make sure that we follow up with the stories, find out what happens with the with the spy queen, find out what's happening with the gun story, and also keep tabs on the politics of the day.
Okay, fantastic stuff. What about you, Marcus?
Mine is just a small one. Mine is not mini. There's a little story that is I've seen it in every version of the dailies that I've seen thus far, and it's something to keep our eye out on. There's a vaccination campaign that's about to happen for HPV, which I would really love if every single one of us could be a part of, precisely because this HPV leads up. I had someone describe it this way, that cervical cancer is the one cancer that can be prevented. So if we can engage with that with our young girls, because it's a campaign that I believe is for girls aged 10 to 14, if we can engage with that would be fantastic.
Okay, fantastic stuff. That's where we leave it as far as it's concerned. Marcos Alang, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you.
Ndutawero, thank you so much for coming to our new studio.
Yes, I'm
also, Marcus has some goodies, so as we go to the break,
yes,
that as well. We're going to go into a short break, but as we promised, he is here, DJ Jao, on the ones and twos. This is K24 This Morning, back after the break.